What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Evan and I make videos about hot stocks, dividends, and options. So if that interests you guys, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss when I upload. So in today's video, we're going to go over whether NIO could hit $40 in the near future and potentially when they could hit that $40 price point. But before we get into it, if you guys haven't signed up for Webull, make sure you guys sign up using the link in the description. You'll get 2 free stocks, both worth a minimum of $8 and potentially up to $1,600. All you have to do is sign up and deposit $100. So make sure you guys don't miss out on these free stocks. Also, if you guys are enjoying these NIO updates, I would really appreciate if you guys hit the like button because it really does help out the channel. And it shows me that you guys really appreciate these updates every weekday. But aside from that, NIO's share price isn't really up or down today very much. They're down 0.7% right now. At their peak, they hit 28.41 and they were up 1.6% this morning. But throughout the day, they pulled back and they've kind of maintained the flat line that they've been on for a couple days now. You can see on the 1 week, at the beginning of the week, they spiked up quite a bit. But overall, they're only up 2% on the week. And you can see looking at the chart, it looks like they've been up and down a lot, but they really haven't changed too much throughout this past week. NIO hit a high of around 28.80 and a low of around 27.05, but it looks like they're really hovering around this 27.50 range. And I'm kind of surprised actually. I think that NIO would have pulled back quite a bit by now, because if we actually take a look at the 1 month chart, you can see NIO is still up over 47%. And they had a period where they consolidated quite a bit around $21, and then they spiked up like 26% in 1 day. And since then they crawled up a little bit higher, and now they've been consolidating around 27.50. So I think if they can form a support line around this 27, which it looks like they're starting to do, I think that $40 price point, we might see that in the near future, possibly a lot sooner than people expected. So now we're going to go over a few points of why NIO could head to over $40 pretty soon. Now, a lot of people investing in NIO, or a lot of people who are planning on investing in NIO, they've missed out quite a bit if they didn't get in early, because NIO had a 20-fold return. And just in the past couple weeks, NIO went up 32.65%, and they hit like 26% just in 1 day. And that was at the same time an analyst from JP Morgan put out a price prediction at $40. But I think even for those people who didn't buy into NIO early, I think there's still a lot of growth in the future, especially long term. I think too many people are looking at NIO as a short-term play when it should be long-term. I think NIO has a potential to grow into a global company and really expand their company. So even though NIO isn't global right now, they're still in China, which is the biggest market there is, with 1.4 billion people. And I think a lot of people compare the GDP per capita in China, especially in Beijing, to like Los Angeles, for example, where it's much higher. But you have to take into account that there's a lot more people in China, and so there's a lot more millionaires and just a lot wealthier people overall. But there's also a lot of people who aren't wealthy and they live paycheck to paycheck. But I think NIO is more targeting these wealthier individuals. And so there's an argument to be said about NIO versus Tesla in China, because some people say that people in China would buy Tesla vehicles over NIO vehicles because Tesla vehicles are actually cheaper. And I think that does give Tesla an advantage. But NIO right now can't really reduce their prices because they haven't even broken into the profit margin yet. But I think NIO is more targeting those wealthier individuals, and there is a lot more of them in China. So as long as they can get their vehicle out to those people, they're going to succeed. Now, one of the catalysts driving NIO upwards recently was their strong deliveries for September and just Q3 overall. In September alone, NIO delivered 4,708 vehicles, which is up 133.2% from last year in September. And just in Q3, NIO delivered 12,206 vehicles, which is up 154% from Q3 of 2019. So I think this is one of the things really pushing NIO up, and one thing that gave these analysts, like the JP Morgan analyst, more of a bullish mindset, and I think that's part of the reason why they put out that $40 price target. Now, there wasn't really an exact date for when that would happen, but I think they're kind of figuring in the next 12 months that NIO would hit that. Now, I think that's a very conservative price point. I think NIO, like I've mentioned before, they could hit $40 by the end of the year, especially if they record good numbers for quarter 4. And going into early 2021, NIO wants to increase their capacity per month to 12,500 vehicles, and they hope to deliver 150,000 vehicles by the end of 2021. So that would be huge for NIO, nearly 2.5xing their current delivery numbers. And then I also think that they could become profitable in the next year or so. Estimates were saying in the next 5 to 6 quarters, but if they can deliver 150,000 vehicles next year, it's possible that they could break into the profits next year. And then I think they would easily surpass that $40 price point. I think they could even possibly get up closer to 100. And for the people that doubt NIO and think that NIO is just going to crash or go bankrupt, you can just look at the past, because even this year people thought NIO was going to file for bankruptcy, and actually China locked down their whole economy to prevent further spread of the pandemic. And if you even go back to last December, NIO didn't know if they were going to have enough cash to make it through the year. But now you can see NIO still made it through. They made it through a world pandemic, and they actually attracted a lot more investors, and they sold shares to raise cash. And since then, their stock is actually up quite a bit. I think especially compared to what people thought was going to happen when that stock dilution happened. And this article makes a pretty valid point right here. It says that NIO doesn't report quarterly earnings until next month, and so the market doesn't really have any reason to take profits. And so if you're invested in NIO right now and you have a relatively high share price, I don't think it should drop too much. I mean, personally, I think they could pull back to $25 or possibly $21, especially if people take profits after the quarterly earnings. But even if NIO does pull back even to $21, they won't stay there for long. I think if you have a relatively high share price, like say your average price is $27 or $28, and they pull back to 21, personally, I would just add more shares and lower my average cost. But that's up to you as the investor. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't tell you exactly what to do, but that's just personally what I would do. If I had an average share price that was relatively high and NIO dropped, I would just add more shares to decrease my average price. And like I said, analysts don't actually expect NIO to post a profit anytime soon. I think they could in the next year or so, but it was estimated that it would take 5 to 6 quarters. And right now there's a lot of investors staying away from NIO because they're not profitable. Now, I don't really know what their mindset is going into that. Maybe they want just a more steady company that's more proven. And by proven, I mean showing a profit. But I think if you always wait for a company to become profitable and to become steady, you're not always going to get those low share prices. Because if NIO becomes profitable in the next year, or even in the next 5 to 6 quarters, their share price is going to be quite a bit higher than it is right now, and people who waited are going to have missed out on quite a lot of gains in the market. And right now, at a market cap of $38.7 billion, NIO is worth more than 10 times less than that of Tesla. And so in the comparison, either Tesla's market cap of $402 billion is going to have to fall, or NIO is going to have to keep rising. And I think NIO is going to keep rising. I don't personally see Tesla dropping anytime soon, especially with all the hype and awareness around Tesla right now. And there's a lot of investors who are concerned about tension between the US and China, and this kind of scares away a lot of investors. But NIO is pretty dependent on China's growing economic strength. Even if the US put in some kind of trade restrictions, this wouldn't really affect NIO all that much. And it says here that valuations are not yet meaningful until NIO starts posting profits. And I somewhat agree with that. I think that it's hard to value a company and give a good estimate of what the share price should be without the company being profitable. But one thing that could possibly delay NIO's chance of becoming profitable in the near future is actually their competition against XPeng and Tesla, because both Tesla and XPeng cut their prices of their vehicles. It started with Tesla cutting the price of the Model 3, and then XPeng did the same thing, and so that forces NIO to lower their prices. Therefore, they have lower profit margins on each vehicle, and it would take them longer to become profitable. So that's definitely something to keep in mind too when you're thinking of NIO and you're thinking of them in the next couple of years and what could happen with their share price. Now, honestly, like I've said before, I think NIO could hit $40 by the end of the year. Now it would be pretty inflated and NIO might not quite be worth that, but with all the awareness around NIO right now, I don't see why they couldn't get to $40, especially if they report good numbers throughout quarter 4. And then also NIO Day, which is in January, and the possibility of delivering 12,500 vehicles per month in early 2021. And another thing to keep in mind is the options traders right now. There's more and more options traders flocking to NIO and investing in NIO with calls expiring both short and long term. And I think these options traders buying these calls, especially when they buy in at a cheap price and NIO spikes up, and then they buy actual shares, that really helps boost the price up of NIO, and it could be slightly inflated because of these options traders. Now I've had a few comments of people who want to get into options trading and they don't really know where to start. So if you guys want me to do kind of an in-depth beginner's guide to options trading, let me know down in the comments. I do have some earlier videos explaining how options work, but they're not the highest quality because it was some of my earlier videos. So if you guys want me to recreate those and do sort of an updated options trading guide, let me know down in the comments. Also, if you guys haven't signed up for Webull, make sure you sign up using the link in the description. Sign up and deposit $100 and you'll get 2 free stocks. And if you guys enjoyed this video and you enjoy videos like these, make sure you leave a like because it really does help out the channel. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you back here in the next one. Bye.